All right, so this is a quick introduction to what DataPress is and how to get started. So it's just a thin wrapper, a thin presentation wrapper on top of your already existing Parquet and Delta data, whether you have that locally or on an object store. Um, it's enterprise, it's ready, it's cloud native, it has endpoints, um, readiness and liveness for Kubernetes environments. It integrates with your auth 2 and OIDC providers to grant and manage access to your data. It allows you to stream um, results through Arrow IPC or just paginated JSON. There's a wrapper, a Python interface, because that makes it a lot easier to integrate in an enterprise environment. It's built in Rust, and that's pretty much it. Let's just go to the installation. It's a nice presentation, very high level though. I think there's going to be more interesting things in the documentation. Let's go to the documentation in the getting started install. There's a configuration, how to query the different backends, the Python interface, reference, all those kind of things. There's a DuckDB WASM terminal where you can do some experiments. But here we just want to grab the installation. It installs with Brew, Winget, but this is by far the easiest on a Mac or Linux. Let's go. Here I have a directory for this demo with just one local dataset. We'll limit to local dataset right now, but a future video, the next video will focus on more datasets, multiple datasets, on object storage, integrating with your OIDC provider and stuff like that. Let's just do a quick intro first, quick tour of what DataPress is and how it works. Accidents Parquet, that's the US accidents between 2016 and 2023, I think. There's a lot. It has 46 columns and about 8 million lines. So a good demo data set. Let's start with installing this. It will download the binary for my platform, and in a location on my profile, it's going to suggest to put it on the path. It's already there. So here we go. Ready to go. DataPress, I can just launch it. It will say, okay, there's no config file. It looks for a configuration file in an environment variable. Then it will look for a datasets.toml locally. And finally, it will look for datasets.toml in my home. I don't have any of those. So let's just go ahead and generate the template and then use the template to create this to start off with. DataPress in it, in the local directory. I'll move data set some here, and then let's jump into that file, datasets toml. We're just going to delete these first lines to get that out of the way. Here's the backend where you can choose between DataFusion and DuckDB. Let's start with DataFusion. I'll put listen on this 00, so all the interfaces, so you can also connect remotely if we have to later on, maybe. 127.0.0, the loopback address limits it to only this machine. It's by default. So let's enable Quack. This is a new and very experimental protocol from Duck Labs. It allows you to use Duck in a client server setup. Extremely cool. And then we're here, we'll enable the Swagger, we'll enable the SQL query endpoint, which is, yeah, you may choose to opt out of it, but it is checked. Should be fine. Metrics, Explorer, that's the cool feature. And then here we have the dataset setup where we'll do, I'll call it accidents, because that's what we're working with. Same here, accidents, like so. And that's what we'll start with for now, just that. Right, quit, like so. I don't know, yeah, I made a mistake there. but it looks good. DataPress, it's starting loading the sets accidents. So here we see that it's configured with the DataFusion backend. We have the dataset accidents loaded, about 8 million rows, like I said, 46 columns. That's the size, chunk, and indexed columns. So automatically you can set index columns. You can also choose not to, or you can provide a list of columns that you want indexed. These are the the probe endpoints. This is where the actual API lives for this data set. If you have multiple data sets, it's going to be more of these. This is a legacy API. This will disappear. mkdocs, so the entire documentation site is also embedded. You can choose to opt out and build it without the mkdocs integrated. This is Swagger UI, same thing. You can also disable that for production, for instance. The Explorer, this is nice, and we'll come back to that. And then metrics for Prometheus with some cool metrics. So let's go ahead and connect to the site here. Let's maybe start with docs for the Swagger UI. So here you have the probes. Here you have the data sets with only the new. I'm not going to say new, but endpoints versioned. So data sets. Here we go. There's just one data set, 46 columns and 8 million more or less rows. No surprises there. And there's a count, which supports also predicates. So you can just go ahead and say, count all the rows on accidents data set where the state or the column state equals California. And it will tell you the count, and there you go. That many. It's a lot. The regular count endpoint, that's where you post your JSON query. Also accidents. Let me copy that because we're going to use it. Where you can set your columns, your predicates, your filters, limits, and all those things that are here. There are a lot of the examples in the documentation. So, but it's just to test quick demo. So here we go, and that will return a JSON to lists. We can choose, however, to provide us with Arrow IPC. And this endpoint is going to be paged, so we also have to page over the data. Whereas here, same thing, but it's in a single stream. And it streams until the data is all of it is consumed. This is a cool SQL endpoint where you don't have to specify the data set and the endpoint and the URI because it's inferred from, of course, the SQL. Same thing. It's checked, it's typed. Here we go. And this is another cool feature which allows us to do a hot reload of a data set. So if you choose to load all the data in the memory because of low latency, high performance endpoints, you may decide to load it. By default, DataFusion is eager. By default, DuckDB is lazy. You can choose both to be eager, both to be lazy. And reload means that, and that's why one of the reasons why we did the Python wrapper, Python interface. You could have this sitting in a Python application with a consumer on a Kafka topic or another event bus where you listen for updates. You get a message that says, okay, the data set has been updated. And then you call this endpoint where you reload, hot reload the data. So existing connections will still connect and finish their queries on the current data set. And then new connections will terminate on the new data. And when there are no more active connections on the legacy data set, so to speak, legacy version, previous version, it will drop. It will drop that data set. We could do that. However, we need to set an environment variable or a configuration secret. In this case, it's not going to work because I don't have that secret set. It will tell me forbidden. Quick fix though. You go here. We'll see export admin token. You can also do it in the data sets. So let's quickly set that to my admin token, then relaunch DataPress. Like so, it's quick. Here we go, authorize. It is my admin token, authorize, close. And now when we reload, it will take a while, but like I said, it's hot reload. So it will flush all the existing connections and new connections will end up in a new one. It's done in about 5 seconds for this data set, and it's eagerly loaded entirely into memory. All right, so that's the Swagger UI with its features. Also, there is the entire MKDoc site embedded with the presentation link, including the WASM terminal for experimenting. And all of that. You may not want to do that to have a smaller binary, but if you're in a isolated environment, it could be very handy. So this is the Explorer, where you have a list of all your data sets and a quick view on what's in there, configuration that we configured. So index mode is auto, and with DataFusion, you can see here by default all the these ones are indexed. So bring int, and so on. You can download the schema JSON datasets API, and you also have a sample row to give you an idea of what's in there. This is a cool one. This is the API query where you can have both a structured query and a raw SQL. So let's just go ahead and run this quick. So time to first byte was 70 milliseconds. That is a bit slow, I have to say. Okay, it's faster now. Second time round, 8 and a total of 21. The arrow, that is extremely fast. And why is that fast? It's because it doesn't have to serialize to JSON. It doesn't have to compress. So the bigger the data, the more data there is, the bigger the difference will be between these two. It just works really nice. You don't have to worry about schema and none of that. It's just usable, directly consumable data. You can stream this into your Polars data frame natively, really fast. Works really nice. And then, yeah, headers. If you integrate with the OIDC service and you secure your data, you can set your endpoint, your authorization there. No compression for testing. So by default, your browser will, whether you want it or not, compress. And if you still want to test, this no compression, just adds a variable. So that's this. This is of course all exportable. CSV, JSON, Parquet. You can download the results. Yeah, one thing. Let's go back quickly to the docs. The endpoints. So there's one endpoint. There's one endpoint that is not here. Okay, let's go. Let's back. I'll come back to that later. Explore. And there's also the terminal, which is this, which is DuckDB WASM compiled running in the browser, which also, because HTTP traffic is accessible, so you can access from within this isolated environment with HTTP through a JavaScript interface, can access the external world. So what we could do is, for instance, describe, and then I could say HTTP and then our endpoint, which is on localhost on port 8080 behind API v1. Datasets, accidents, of course, and then we do all.parquet. Now the first run will be a bit slow. Let's see, yeah. First one will be a bit slow. It'll scan all of the Parquet, so there's an all.parquet stream. DuckDB will scan through it, the different row groups, the metadata, stuff like that. And after that, using cache and those things, it'll be a lot faster. And here you have your complete SQL context. And if you have multiple APIs running, separate instances, you can still have a same SQL context for exploration and performing joins and those kind of things. So here we can do a select state count of all from, let me copy paste that in. I want to do that. Command C, Command V. Yes, we want to allow that. We have to group, of course, group by state. We want to order by state ascending. And let's do this. It's a lot faster. Here we have all the states. This is great. So we can use DuckDB local or here from the browser to query directly with SQL, different ways, our endpoint, our data. So we have this raw SQL API, which allows us to do that. Or if you have DuckDB or anything else similar, you can query through the old Parquet endpoint, right? Okay, this was really quickly for DataFusion. Let's go to let's do this with DuckDB. It's datasets TOML, and here we just go quickly. Let's say that we do DuckDB just like that. We already enabled the Quack protocol, and just the same, we launch it. It will run, it will load, and there we go. And it will say DuckDB Quack is experimental, and here we go. It's listening. Same summary, and also there we go. Same endpoints. Yeah, here they are listed. So this is the old Parquet endpoint. It's not in Swagger because it's downloading effectively or giving you an interface with all the data. And then let's go back here. It still says DataFusion, but if I reload, it will say now DuckDB. And the cool thing now, okay, all of this still works the same way. So that's a unified interface, exact same. Also for Arrow, same difference between Arrow and JSON, because that's the same for both DuckDB and DataFusion. The data is in memory in Arrow, and with Arrow IPC, you stream immediately out of your HTTP connection. JSON has to be serialized first and then also compressed. So that takes a bit longer for more, and that's the same for both DataFusion and DuckDB. But the cool thing here is that now we can have a DuckDB to DuckDB connection, DuckDB client to a DuckDB server, if you will. We have a DuckDB server in our in DataPress, and we're now going to connect with the DuckDB client from here from the WASM shell to that DuckDB server through. There's an example. I put one in. Examples. Sorry. And you can just go ahead and copy paste this if you have the accidents. So what it says is it will attach over the Quack protocol to localhost as localDB with this token that we've set in the data sets TOML. And then I'm going to use that localDB, and then I'm going to do this select. And that should just, there you go. And this is just client server awesomeness. And again, if you have multiple separate instances for all of your separate data sets, Parquet, Delta, scattered around, mesh, whatever, you can still, with this, have a single client SQL context, right? I can do describe accidents. We go quick and with the familiar DuckDB CLI experience. And with that, we're going to close this this video. Next video will be about Python, integrating it in a corporate environment using OIDC and having your data, Parquet and Delta Lake data on object storage S3. Thanks for watching. See you next one.